Hey guys, this is Chandni Otwani and welcome back to my channel. And today we have a very special friend of mine, very close friend of mine who is really beautiful, Gagandeep Kaur, who is a product manager in Dell. So her journey was very inspiring for me. So let's see how was her journey from a fresher to a tester and then finally a product manager in a very short period of time. So Gagan, can you introduce yourself?
Hey, hi, Charlie. Thanks for having me on the channel. It's actually a pleasure to be here and sharing my experience. It's been a great, we had an ups and downs, but it's good. It's good so far, and I'm finally at a place where I wanted to be. So I'll start off with my journey where I started as a fresher in Odessa Technologies. That's in Bangalore. So I was recruited through College campus, and over there I joined as a manual tester, quality analyst, and I worked there for 6 months. And after that, I moved on to Dell. And since then, I'm with Dell, and I joined there as a tester. Then the journey from manual to automation within a year or a year and a half in Dell. And after that, I have worked as a software developer engineering test, which is actually an automation tester basically. So I worked into that role for around more than 3 years, 3.5 years, and after that I moved into this role of being a product manager.
So can you tell us more about your current role and how much experience do you have? Where do you, your company and location, something about it? How is the culture there?
Oh, okay. So the first reason being why I'm at Dell is because of the work-life balance that I've seen. I had some trouble. I used to, I had to come back home quite a lot of time. So the manager leadership is quite understanding in that aspect. So I had that feasibility, and I think due to that flexibility, I stayed on over there as well. And we have a good culture. I work both in Bangalore campus as well as in Hyderabad campus. Currently, of course, due to the COVID world crisis pandemic situations, I'm back at home in Kolkata. So, yeah. But overall, the work culture is great. You're always appreciated for the work you do. You always have encouraging leadership. Look at my journey. I started as a tester, and then now I'm a product manager. So I think I give all the credits to Dell for appreciating and recognizing my skills and helping me to grow in the role that I wanted to go into.
Okay, that's really nice. And so since this whole series is about interview, and for the one who really wants to get in some good companies. So can you tell about your interview journey? How was it, and how did you actually get through the interview, and why Dell and
As I mentioned, I was actually earlier working through a startup, and I got to I started making my LinkedIn profile, and over there I saw connections. How that was the LinkedIn profile itself was new for me, so I started making connections. I updated my skill set. As per my resume, what I've been learning so far in the 6 months in that company. And after that, I just managed to connect. I connected with quite a few people in different companies. So, a few of them responded with the role that I was interested in. So, one of those was via, director level person at Dell. So, she said there are openings, so if you want, you can check out the Dell portal, and then you can walk in. You can connect to the HR if your resume gets shortlisted or as such. So I went on with it. That was a good way. Actually, I was really surprised going through LinkedIn. It was a totally new experience, but I really didn't want to give that up because Dell is a good company. So I went through the interview process. It was like a walk-in, and I had around 3 rounds, couple of technical rounds, one managerial round with both my manager, who was supposed to be my reporting manager at that time, and her skip level manager. So kind of the director level who actually informed me about the openings in there. So I had 3 rounds, yeah. I'm coming back to the place where I had 2 technical rounds. So they knew that I'm working as a tester. As of now, it's which is a quality analyst. I didn't have any automation skills, but I do have a BTech background, right? So I have coding language experience. So in that aspect, what happened is he asked me just like, it was a general question: are you interested in automation or manual, staying in manual? What's your long-term career goal? So at that point of time, I really wanted to enhance my coding skills, and I felt like I don't really want to stick to manual testing as such. I think I can be, I'm more inclined towards coding. So I told him I'm more interested in automation, and that's how he said, okay, I'll put you in this team. And then he placed me accordingly in that team. And actually, that team had started working on automation skills and for all the test members. So that was through my Dell journey in the beginning. Later on as well, when I moved into the product manager role, I also had a couple of interviews that time.
Oh, so again you had interviews?
Yeah. So I had to actually, present myself, expose my skills in front of a lot of leadership people, because obviously moving into this product manager role, it's not that simple when you come as a fresher and with the BTech degree, a graduate degree. Usually people who get hired into this role, those are mostly, those people have already done masters, mostly like an MBA, or if you're outside, like a master's in business administration or something like that. So in that regards, I didn't have a master's degree. I still don't have that, but I did have a BTech degree, and I had been working with them for quite some time. So I did quite a few presentations about the work that I have done so far. Basically, I have to sell out what I have been doing, show my presentation skills, communication skills, and how I can communicate with the business as well as the product team. So they actually analyzed through a lot of presentations. That was just not one round. It went over for 2 months. So I had to give a different team. And then there were final interviews where my manager, who's my current reporting manager, she asked me quite a few questions related to the current role.
So I have very interesting question here for you and for everybody who is going to watch this series. That what exactly was the main thing that you think that made them to choose you for the initial role as a tester, right?
Yes. So I actually had few technical rounds, right? And I was thorough with it. I was very much interested. I showed my interest a lot. It's all about, you should know, first of all, as a candidate, be it a fresher or be it an experienced guy, or, you're midway through your journey. What I feel is you should know what you want to do, and you should be confident at what you want to do and achieve that. Like, be clear about it. Just don't go with the flow that somebody presents you, and then you just have to get this job, so you just want to go with it. You may get it at that point of time, but maybe later on you wouldn't be happy. So at that point of time, I knew I wasn't that happy as a manual tester. I really wanted to enhance my coding skills. So in that regards, what I did was I told him, whoever was taking my interview, I told that person that I am very much interested to, if I'm, this opening is for testing, I'm very much interested in learning the automation skills. I do not know that as of now. I was very clear about that. But I also told him that I have skills in C, C++, and Java. So I have strong knowledge in that. So I'm a quick learner in that aspect. So you can take me into that team. I'm very much interested in that. So they see that how you are actually passionate and interested about that role, and that's how I think the recruiters take. It's a funny thing actually. I realized this when halfway through, I was already automation tester like a couple of years now, and I had taken a lot of interviews because we had like 3 new teams formed under our test organization, And since I had been experienced in automation testing, so I was one of the members of the interview panel. So I had taken numerous interviews, and that's what I realized after conducting those interviews, that what you actually look for in a candidate, how confident you are, how passionate about you are into getting into that role.
Okay, that's very informative. So there is one more thing I would like to ask, that when we talk about product manager, okay, so it also comes with a lot of responsibility, and it's kind of a pretty heavy name itself. So what do you think? Can you tell us three important things that was there in you and that made them to choose you for this such responsible role?
Yes. So I had to first, few positive things that I think I have in myself, which I always, I'm blessed to have those skills in hand. I really didn't have to, enhance that. Always, it's always a learning experience, but I feel that this is like a part of my nature, so it was easier. So I like to interact with a lot of people. I know a lot of people at Dell because I try to communicate. I try to build relationships. Just because I'm very curious. The first day when I joined into Dell, I think through the first month, I was always curious, and I asked my manager in leadership, how does the whole Dell process work? Because I understand the work that we are doing is just one chunk of it. So I'm very intrigued to know what the whole flow. So that's how I feel like I'm more interactive, and I used to take part in a lot of cultural events. I used to always be on top of any presentation that needs to be taken and given to the leadership level. I've given multiple presentations to the VP. Now I almost have not weekly, but I would say monthly presentation. Every month I have a presentation with my VP. So it just develops over the time, and I used to like doing that, and I still enjoy doing that because I like to present what I'm doing and what my team is doing. It's actually, as you mentioned, right, product manager. When I wanted to get into it, I was like, I'm very interested. I'm very intrigued by it. There's a lot of difference between a business analyst, product owner, and the product manager. When I entered into this role, that's when I actually figured it out. What's the main difference? Because it's a huge accountability that comes onto your shoulders. You are actually responsible for your product that you are delivering. I know it's the same for business analysts, product owners, but for my team, if I give you a brief background, what I'm doing is I actually started this year, I started working on a product, literally building it from scratch. And, I was part of the discovery and framing phases where I interacted with the product designers. I also had multiple sessions throughout different regions like APJ, EMEA, NA, LATAM. So all these areas, throughout the world, we conducted surveys and, user research interviews with customers. So that was a whole new experience. It was a very scary experience because it was an immediate exposure to I think 10-fold times the people I had been interacting as a tester. So that interaction level increased, that with exposed to a lot of people, and along with that, now I have to present that product with all the feedback. I have to develop something, give a solution that resolves all the issues for the business. That's also, not very complex. It's the most optimal solution. So that's something that I have to go back to my technical team, which is called the product team in Dell. So I had multiple sessions with them. I used to sit with them. I have some technical knowledge, but not at that extent, right? So the dev team, they are very excelled in all these matters, and I had a good team. They really helped me understand what's feasible, what's not feasible. So it was a non-stop process, especially in the initial few months. I would tell you, Chandni, I was struggling a lot. So I had put in extra hours because this was a huge drastic jump for me as a tester to a product manager. As a tester, your key responsibilities is about ensuring that you deliver the best quality of product. Like you test everything what a product manager actually comes and brings to you. Then you just you test through it thoroughly. But for a product manager, you are actually have to have a vision throughout the year, like from January to December, that what you are developing, how is it going to be, what is actually going to work out, what is not.
True, definitely true. So, have you done any certification for this particular product manager?
For a product manager, so I'll tell you all the certifications that I could do to move into this role. First, I started with Scrum Master, CSM Scrum Master certified, and then I moved on to CSPO. That's a product owner certification as well. So these are the two I did to move into this product management role. Apart from that, Dell conducted a very huge training, a 3-day boot camp to do a very thorough product management training.
Okay.
So that was given by Dell itself. I didn't do it separately. And apart from that, what I think that helps is this is all related to product management, but I also wanted to have some technical background so that I can understand what have some knowledge apart from the functionality and about the business language. We become a mediator between the business people and the dev team. So I had to have some knowledge of technical background. So in that case, I did some certifications from Salesforce. That's the application that I have been working.
Okay, that's pretty good. So what made you to go for product management? You were a tester and a good one, I guess. I got to know that. So why exactly this change in the lines?
I just because I moved from testing.
Sorry to interrupt. Was it like random on the way opportunity, or it was a planned one also? If you can tell.
Yeah. Actually, midway through, while I was in the during the testing phase, when I was into that role, it just hit me what my strong qualities are, strong skill set is, and where I want to be. I actually had a long-term picture in my head, and then I realized what I wanted to do, and I started figuring out ways how to move into that role. Testing is a great huge opportunity, I feel. Majorly automation testing. I learned a lot of automation testing through one of my ex-colleagues at Dell. He moved out to a different company, but he's the person who started teaching me about Selenium and introduced me to it. It's very interesting, I feel. It's a whole new thing. You can start working on the framework and also building a lot of test scripts. So you can, I think I kept following, even though he left Dell, I kept following his websites and a lot of time the main links through it, because he keeps updating those things. So it's a new area and it's an exciting area. People who are interested in testing and figuring out how to break the code and identify that, ensure if you're very confident on building a very good quality product, as well as you want to enhance your coding skills, it's a really great opportunity, I feel, being an automation tester.
Okay.
But what I realized was I am more interested in handling a team, working with the business closely, working on a product, and I felt like I am more into product management than staying into the technical aspect of it. So that's when it just hit me and I moved into it. I started paving my way towards it. I started connecting with my manager and separate different teams and telling them you can train me, you can mentor me to move into this role. And a couple of people were actually very helpful from the leadership who actually mentored me to move into this role.
Okay, so can you tell us like whom did you follow when you were a tester, and if you follow somebody as a product manager as well, there must be some videos or some blogs that you must follow now as a product manager as well.
Okay, so as a testing automation testing, I used to follow a website created by my good friend and ex-colleague. He's Mukesh Gurmani. So he has built this learnautomation.org. Maybe I can share that link with you. You can share it in this video. And it's an excellent tool. Website, I would say, where you get a lot of information. It was really helpful for me, even though when he wasn't around, he was an expert and he used to be teaching me in person. But whenever he was there, I used to go to that website and search through any item, and I could actually get information about it. So it's very informative, honestly. I'm not just saying because he's my friend, but I really found it informative. So yes, I have kept suggesting it to other people because I feel it has all the links with very crisp and related information. Not too much, but not too less as well. So I feel it's good. Coming to the product management, I feel that more it's all about the people who I work with. They encourage me, they inspired me to move into this role. So it's funny thing, the team with which I was appointed as the tester, that team's product owner was, she's an excellent lady. I'm actually working with her still now. So I just felt inspired working with her. I thought that I'm interested in this role. So how do you do? What are your activities? What are your roles and responsibilities? I know it would be I just don't want to bug you, but just include me in few of your meetings, the 4 meetings that you have. I just want to understand what this role is about. So that's how I started looking into this. So that's she kind of inspired me to move into this role. And then I had a few friends at Dell itself who conduct this digital way of transformation into product management, and they suggested few links and few books, which I don't really get time to follow through, but I do that sometimes whenever, especially in the beginning that I used to do. Adding on to that, I have in Udemy rural site, you have a lot of trainings related to product management. Those are also really helpful. I used to do that as well, speaking of this when I'm in this role, so it was really helpful as well.
So how do you keep yourself updated with your current profile?
So it's a mixture. Yeah, it's a mixture right now. In every company, I think it's not a standard product manager role that you just get into, right? So it transforms with the Dell adapted way, that company's adaptive way. So I'm working with Dell. Dell has a different transformation process that they go through, and along with that, I have inculcated this product management role. So what we do is we focus on one product, and that product is my a core baby, and then I have to take care of it the whole year. That's given to me. I have to ensure that's built from the scratch till the end. I deliver the exact ask. Even better if I can deliver something better than that or more than that. But the main idea is you should have very strong knowledge on what you are actually trying to do, what you want to achieve. So first, I think the first primary concern is always, be it a tester, product manager, developer, you should always understand that will help you give a clear vision is that what is your customer needs. When you understand what the customer needs are, then you start breaking down that into how you can achieve it. So that's that one statement really helps you break down into multiple, bifurcate into different levels, granular levels.
Okay. It's really informative. I hope this really helps for everybody.
Yeah, I hope so too, that this video helps everyone.
Okay, so for me, this is very important question, and I would like if you can give your full focus to this question. That any advice for the one who are going to apply for product manager job? So during interviews, what all things they should focus on?
Okay. So I think the most important thing that people looking for a product manager role is how you can handle a stressful situation. what are your communication skills. So even sometimes, even though like all these are very much linked to each other. So as a product manager, you should know, you should understand everything, what is being talked about. You should first, you should have that patience. I think I have learned that you have to have patience to listen what the other person is saying, because that's when you will understand by their tone, by their whole situation, when they're explaining that how frustrated they are with the issue that they are facing, or how irrelevant their issue is. So sometimes you have to listen to them very carefully, right? So that's how you start with understanding the problem. So you should have good communication skills. You should have to be patient. You should be a good listener. And one of the other most important thing is, how do you tackle situations where people are pressurizing you a lot? So it's a stress level situation that you should handle it very well. So there are a lot of times where you are beating deadlines, but you are not able to deliver that because you face a lot of difficulties. Like technically it's just not feasible. What the business is asking, you just can't deliver. It's out of scope. So what do? You can't just force your technical team to do it, but you have to tactfully make the customer understand that, okay, I am not able to give you this, but I can give you this in return. This will solve your intermediate problem, and meanwhile we'll look into it to enhance it further. So maybe that's how patient you have to be to understand it. So I think in interviews what we do is we try to stress out this, how you are communicating with the business. So because the business, they don't really understand much of the technical things, so you have to be very careful on what you are talking to them, how you are explaining to them. So that's what you should understand that. Next thing is how well you can manage to say them no as well. You can't always say yes, we'll do. So we see that what are the times. So we give a solution, we give questions, we give you have to give a solution, and then I will act as a business, and then I keep forcing how will you deliver this? When will you deliver this? Because I want this to be done. So you have to you have to be tactful to explain me and convince me what you can give and what you cannot give, and you have to make me okay with it. So that's one skill that you should have. And along with that, you should engage well with the technical team, because those are the people who are actually going to work on it, work on that product, and then deliver it to business. You cannot do that part. You have to make them understand, and then they will work accordingly. So you also have to understand their difficulties. So it's like you are the bridge. You should know that you are the bridge only. You are an individual contributor in some aspects, but you are also managing a lot of people. You have a lot of strings attached that connects from the technical team to the business and vice versa. So that stress level situation is very important, that you should know how to handle those situations. You can't just lash out at anyone. That's very important.
Okay. So do you have some hobbies as well?
Yeah, I do. I am kind of nerdy sometimes, and I also like to go out a lot. Now, due to the situation, obviously we cannot do that. So I used to enjoy going out to the going out for dancing. I used to go to the classes where I learned different dance forms. So that's one of my hobbies. So that's out of the question right now. But I also like to read when I'm indoors, so that I continue to read. It's not a particular area. I'm intrigued by anything interesting that comes up. I like to watch documentaries as well. So those are some things that I like to do when I'm free. And most importantly, most of my free time goes with my pet dog. So yeah, it keeps me occupied most of the time.
Okay, so this is my mandatory question when it comes to hobbies. Do you really think that having a hobby helps in your professional journey and in your career as well?
Yes, it does. I'll tell you my personal experience since I moved into this product manager role, since it was a big jump for me. So I wanted to give not my 100%, but my 200% into this, so that I am not questioned at, why I was given this and I'm not doing good at it. So I wanted to prove myself that I'm worthy of that position as well. It was kind of a pressure at me. Nobody put a pressure, but it was a thing in my head. So I wanted to do that for myself, for my personal sake. I wanted to prove myself. So I gave in a lot of time. I gave in a lot of hours. I stopped spending time on myself. My self-time had gone to 0 level. And my stress level, I saw that it increased. So it's very important. Moreover, the lockdown was there. So there was no scope of going out as well. So I was totally cooped up into my work, which is not the right thing to do. You should know how to work, manage your work, manage your time. Your self-time is very important. Spend time with the family. It's very crucial. Especially these times have shown that how crucial it is to have your family near you. We are lucky to have a family near us, and I think I have spent a lot of time with them. That has really helped me, grow as a person. Obviously, they are the people who have built me, and along with that, my time is very important. Focus on your hobbies. Try to pick a passion. It will really help relieve your stress, be it personal, professional, anything. I feel that really relieves all your pressures, all your stress out of your body. So it's very important. Keep yourself occupied, but be positive is what I feel.
So guys, as you can see, this is, everyone in my interview series, they say that hobby is a must. So if you don't have any hobby, develop one, find one and follow it. So that's all you can do for yourself. That is the best way you can be at peace, and you can be happy and positive. That is doing something that you really love.
Yes, Chandni. Yeah, I mean, your videos have been very inspiring, very helpful. They're so optimistic, so positive. This is what people need. I don't think just in India, across the world, people need this a lot. We are lucky, we are safe, we are healthy, but there are a lot of people who are suffering, and I feel this really helps them at very difficult times. So you are doing a great job, Chandni. I mean, reaching out to people, even reaching out to one person is a very, very good job, I think. And you're reaching out to so many people, I hope so.
And that's really nice of you. Coming from you, it's itself a great thing for me. And let me tell you guys, this is Friday evening, and still she's here and giving me interview for my channel, and more important for all of you. So it's really, I'm really grateful for that. Okay, if somebody has any questions related to product manager role, so how they can contact you? I mean, is it okay if they contact you directly, or if you can share your details?
Yeah, sure. Chandni, I think you have my LinkedIn profile as well. So people can reach out to me. They can post questions, anything related to product management or automation testing. I think they're better people than me to guide for automation testing, but I can guide them through to the right people. I can do that. I'm more than helpful over there. I'm happy to help.
So guys, I'll give her profile in my description. You can go through it and contact her whenever needed, and I'm sure she will help you out. And with this, I conclude my interview here with Gagan, and it was really nice having you here, especially on Friday evening, when everybody is actually enjoying even. So really, thank you for that.
Thanks, Chandni, as well for you for spending so much time and encouraging people over here. That's a great thing that you're doing.
Okay, thank you.
So guys, I think the session is done, and it was a really great session. Thank you, Chandni, for having me on your channel. So guys, please like this video, subscribe over here, and post any comments, any questions you have, and you can always reach out to Chandni, and she will share all the details if you want to reach out to me. So thank you.
Definitely. Have a nice day. Thank you.